Hi guys, it's Helga from Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking and Homestead, and today I'm going to make a venison cheesesteak hoagie. Now, a couple things about this. First of all, if you're from Pennsylvania, especially eastern and southern Pennsylvania, especially Philadelphia, cheesesteaks are super serious business. And actually, Philly is the birthplace of the cheesesteak. Brothers Pat and Harry Oliveri actually are credited with inventing the cheesesteak, the Philly cheesesteak, back around 1930, and they opened their own place in South Philly, and it was the crumbly top ribeye steak with cheese whiz and onions on a Italian half loaf of bread, and one of their workers, Joy Vento, in 1966. Right across the way, opened a competing place called Gino's. So the two biggest places for cheesesteaks in Philly, you can see from one place to the other. And they know if you're from Philly or not when you order, if you don't order correctly. Because if you order a cheesesteak whiz wit, it means you want the cheese whiz and onions. And if you order whiz without, it means you don't. You want it just plain. So the other thing about that is, and you can do it, and that's the classic cheesesteak, but let's face it, you can make cheesesteaks any way you want, with any kind of cheeses and whatnot. And I'll probably get killed here by my peeps from Philly, because this is like heresy, but to be honest, I've had both of theirs, and I like Jim's on South Street better. So it just depends on what you like. But I'm doing a venison cheesesteak today, which gives it a healthy connotation. Some people around here making cheesesteaks use like steakums, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. But of course the venison's healthier, and if you don't have the venison option, but you want to keep it healthy, top sirloin is usually the pick for doing cheesesteaks, and you have to slice it really thin. Actually, what I'll do is I'll have like a top sirloin roast that I've had frozen, and when it's about halfway thawed, I will slice it and shave it really thin to get it thin enough for the cheesesteak hoagies. So there's only a couple components to this. They're pretty simple to make. And for those that are lactose intolerant, there are cheese options. There are lots of vegetarian cheese options actually out there that actually taste pretty decent. Because, you know, a cheesesteak isn't a cheesesteak without cheese. Leak. My one buddy, he's lactose intolerant, so I know this will speak to him. Like I said, you can make them any way you like. I'm going to make them the way we like them, which is I like onions and peppers and mushrooms. And I'm going to use a Cooper Jack cheese because it melts really nice. American cheeses melt really nice on this. I have used provolone. It's not quite as melty. Like a pepper jack or a Monterey Jack tastes pretty good too. But you know, you can change it up for whatever suits you. Another thing is I like using the nice soft hoagie rolls, and I'm going to toast them. So I'm going to show you how I put everything together here for a venison cheesesteak. My hoagie buns, and I just have them opened up like this, and I'm going to stick them in the oven to get them toasted while my peppers and onions and mushrooms are sauteing, and I get around to doing my chip steaks. So I have my peppers and onions and mushrooms here getting nice and sauteed, and yes, there's way more here than I'm going to use, but whatever I don't use goes in containers for me to make my make-ahead breakfast sandwiches, which is another video I'll have out, or omelets, or just whatever I want to stick this stuff in. I add this peppers and onions and mushrooms to about everything. So we'll get in that going here, and then we'll work on my chip steaks. I'm just going to put down some Montreal seasoning, like this. And then these are my venison chip steaks. As you can see, they're nice and paper thin. These cook up really quickly, so they don't take long. And I'm only going to do enough for one sandwich at a time. as I get them cooking here, so it has lots of space and it gets done evenly. This is a really, like I said, healthy option with having the venison. And like I said, if you don't have the option of venison, top sirloin does the job just fine. So that's about half my plate of meat. And look how quickly that's cooking up already. Okay, you can see my venison is ready. I'm going to lay in the cheese here. This is, like I said, this is Cooper Sharp. And cheesesteak purists will tell you that, yeah, there's no bell pepper or mushrooms in a traditional cheesesteak, but like I said, this is not a true Philly cheesesteak. It's just how I like to make cheesesteaks. And I like peppers and mushrooms in with mine. So I'm going to let this melt here onto the meat and get that all mixed in. My peppers and onions are about done here. And my rolls are almost done. So I'm going to be able to pull out a nice toasted bun out of the oven and we'll assemble this. And there are a couple other options when you're doing this. Some people put marinara on it, and I actually do like the red sauce sometimes. And the other is mayo. Some people use mayo with it. Typically, I don't. If I'm doing it like this, I just do the cheese with the chip steaks and the peppers, sauteed peppers, onions, and mushrooms, and that's it. Sometimes simple's better. Okay, we're going to assemble this up. You can see my chip steaks all nice and melty. I have my bun here out of the oven all nice and toasted. So I'm going to dish this up like this. Oh man, this smells so good. Okay, then we're going to add the peppers and onions and some mushrooms. There we go. And there you go. There's my cheesesteak. What do you think of that? All the melty, cheesy, gooey goodness and peppers, onions, and mushrooms. That's a meal in itself. So you know the deal. Next comes the all-important taste test. Okay guys, the all-important taste test. And as you can see, this is pretty big, so it's not like I can stuff all that in my mouth. I have a really big mouth, but it's not that big. So, here's a nice little piece. Well, sort of little piece, it's a big piece. Oh man. That is so good. That is a great way to use up venison chip steaks. So much flavor. Toasted bun, melty cheese. Oh my god, it's good stuff. So, while not completely orthodox according to Philly standards, it's absolutely delicious. And it's a simple sandwich to make. It makes a great easy dinner. Doesn't take long at all to prepare. And let's face it, it only needs a couple ingredients. So there's my version of the cheesesteak, venison style. So I hope you like it. Give it a try. And until next time, bye.